Today, let's talk about GTA 6 and its mind-blowing $2 billion budget. Yeah, you heard that right. $2 billion. That's a number that's hard to wrap your head around, so let me break it down for you. First off, this budget is absolutely massive for a video game. Most AAA titles these days cost somewhere between $100 to $300 million to make. So GTA 6 is looking at a budget that's like 6 to 20 times bigger than your average blockbuster game. It's in a league of its own. To put it in perspective, let's look at some other big-budget games. Cyberpunk 2077, which was considered incredibly ambitious, had a budget of about $316 million. Red Dead Redemption 2, another Rockstar game, cost around $540 million. GTA 6 is blowing past these numbers like they're standing still. Even compare it to movies, because why not? Avatar, The Way of Water, one of the most expensive films ever made, had a budget of around $350 to $400 million. Avengers, Endgame, about $356 million. GTA 6's budget could fund 5 of these massive blockbusters and still have change left over. So why is this significant? Well, it shows just how big the gaming industry has become. We're talking about a single game that has a bigger budget than the GDP of some small countries. It's a testament to how much faith Take-Two Interactive has in the GTA franchise and how much they're willing to invest to make it groundbreaking. This kind of budget means we can expect something truly next level from GTA 6. But it also raises the stakes. With a budget this big, the pressure is on for Rockstar to deliver something truly spectacular. They're not just aiming to make a great game, they're shooting for a cultural phenomenon that'll set new standards for the entire industry. But what you might be surprised about is that about $500 million or more of this budget will probably go to promoting the game, even though it's like the most popular series in the world. See, GTA is already a global brand. You might be thinking, why does a game series this famous need any marketing at all? Well, it's not just about letting people know the game exists. It's about creating a cultural event, a moment that captures the attention of the entire world. Remember, GTA 5 had a marketing budget of over $100 million, and that was a decade ago. The gaming landscape has changed dramatically since then. There's more competition, more noise, and it's harder than ever to stand out. So Rockstar needs to go big, really big. Let's talk about why they need to reach every corner of the world. The US market, as huge as it is, simply isn't enough to recoup a $2 billion investment. To break even and turn a profit, GTA 6 needs to be one of the top 5 best-selling games of all time. We're talking about needing to move tens of millions of copies within first few days, probably. This is where that $500 million marketing budget comes into play. Rockstar needs to create a global phenomenon. They're not just selling a game, they're selling an experience, a cultural touchstone. They need everyone from casual mobile gamers in India to console enthusiasts in Brazil to PC gamers in Russia to be talking about GTA 6. The stakes are incredibly high. If GTA 6 doesn't hit these astronomical sales figures, it could be a financial disaster. So that marketing budget isn't just about billboards and TV spots. It's about influencer partnerships, viral campaigns, maybe even real-world events that blur the line between the game and reality. They'll likely be pushing hard into emerging markets where gaming is on the rise. Places like Southeast Asia, Africa, and South America could be crucial to hitting those sales targets. And in established markets, they need to convince people who maybe haven't played a GTA game before that this is the one they can't miss. Plus, let's not forget about the long tail. GTA 5 has been printing money for a decade thanks to GTA Online. Part of this marketing push will be about setting up GTA 6 for that same kind of long-term success. They're not just selling a game, they're selling a platform that people will engage with for years to come. So yeah, $500 million on marketing sounds insane. But when you're playing for stakes this high, when you need to create not just a hit game but a cultural phenomenon that reaches every corner of the globe, suddenly it starts to make a lot more sense. It's a big gamble, but if anyone can pull it off, it's probably Rockstar. Now what about rest of budget? The thing is, game development is a marathon, not a sprint. While a big movie might take a couple of years to make, GTA 6 has likely been in development for the better part of a decade. That's years of salaries for hundreds, if not thousands, of highly skilled professionals, programmers, artists, designers, writers, voice actors, musicians, and more. And we're not talking about just any talent, but the cream of the crop in the industry. The sheer scale of creating a modern open-world game is mind-boggling. You're essentially building an entire virtual city, or cities, from the ground up. Every building, every street, every tree needs to be designed, modeled, and textured. Then you've got to populate it with thousands of NPCs, each needing their own AI routines and voice lines. And remember, this is Rockstar we're talking about. They're known for their insane attention to detail. We're probably looking at a game world that's more intricate and interactive than anything we've seen before. Then there's the technology. GTA 6 will likely be pushing the boundaries of what's possible in gaming. We might be seeing new animation systems, advanced AI, cutting-edge graphics tech, and who knows what else. Developing this kind of bleeding-edge tech isn't cheap, and it often involves a lot of trial and error. Let's not forget the story and mission design. GTA games are known for their sprawling narratives and countless side activities. Writing, designing, and implementing all of this content takes an enormous amount of time and resources, and every mission needs to be tested and polished to perfection. Now, compare this to making a movie. Even a $200 million film typically wraps principal photography in a few months. Sure, there's pre- and post-production, but the actual making of the movie is relatively quick. With a game like GTA 6, every single element needs to be created from scratch and then made interactive. It's like making a movie where the viewer can go anywhere and do anything at any time, and it all has to work flawlessly. So how does this billion-dollar production actually work? It's a massive, multi-year effort coordinated across multiple studios. You've got teams dedicated to every aspect of the game: world design, character modeling, animation, AI programming, network infrastructure for online play, and so much more. These teams need to work in sync, with constant communication and iteration. There are probably entire departments dedicated to things we as players take for granted, like a team just for making sure the traffic AI behaves realistically, or a group focused solely on how water and weather look and behave in the game. And let's not forget the tech infrastructure needed to support all this. We're talking about massive render farms for creating the game's assets, sophisticated motion capture studios, high-end recording studios for voice work and music production, and cutting-edge development tools, many of which Rockstar probably had to create themselves. All of this combines to create a production pipeline that's incredibly complex and expensive to maintain, but necessary to create a game of this scale and ambition. In the end, that billion-dollar production budget is about giving Rockstar the resources and time they need to push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming. But still, actors probably will get paid chump change out of it. In Hollywood, A-list actors like Tom Cruise can command massive paychecks because they're seen as box office draws. Their faces and names on a poster can significantly boost ticket sales. Cruise's $100 million paycheck for Top Gun, Maverick, wasn't just a salary, it included a portion of the film's box office earnings. Now, flip to the gaming world. Even in a blockbuster like GTA, voice actors and motion capture performers often get paid comparatively little, sometimes as low as $100,000 for an entire project that might take years to complete. This is despite the fact that games like GTA 5 have made billions of dollars. Why though? Firstly, in games, especially open-world titles like GTA, the star is often considered to be the game world itself, not any individual character. Players are drawn in by the promise of exploration and interactivity, not necessarily by who's voicing the protagonist. Secondly, game actors aren't typically used in marketing the way film stars are. You don't see billboards with the face of GTA's voice actors plastered across them. This reduces their perceived value in terms of driving sales. Thirdly, the gaming industry has historically undervalued voice and performance work. There's often a mindset that the tech and gameplay are what sell a game, not the performances. This issue came to a head with Rockstar specifically during the development of Red Dead Redemption 2. The actor who played Arthur Morgan, Roger Clark, along with other cast members, fought for better compensation and working conditions. While they did achieve some improvements, the pay still paled in comparison to what top film actors make. The situation has led to ongoing disputes in the gaming world. In 2016 to 2017, SAG-AFTRA, the actors' union, actually went on strike against several major game companies. including Take-Two Interactive, Rockstar's parent company, over issues including compensation and working conditions. Some argue that as games continue to become more cinematic and character-driven, actors should be compensated more in line with film actors. Others point out that games are a collaborative effort involving hundreds or thousands of people, and paying game actors film star salaries could skew budgets unfairly. Also, how does this GTA budget is compared to other GTA games of past? Starting with GTA 5, released in 2013, its total budget was around $265 million. This included both development and marketing costs. At the time, it was one of the most expensive games ever made. But here's the kicker. It made $800 million in its first 24 hours and hit $1 billion in just 3 days. As of 2023, it had sold over 180 million copies and generated more than $7.68 billion in revenue. That's a return on investment that would make any investor drool. Going back further to GTA 4, 2008, its budget was estimated at around $100 million. It sold about 25 million copies and made over $500 million in its first week. While not as astronomical as GTA 5's numbers, it was still a massive success for its time. GTA San Andreas, 2004, had a much more modest budget, estimated to be around $27 to $40 million. It went on to sell over 27.5 million copies and was considered a huge commercial success. Now, let's look at the revenue multiples. GTA 5. With a $265 million budget and over $7.68 billion in revenue, it's achieved a revenue multiple of about 29 times its budget. GTA 4. $100 million budget with over $500 million in its first week alone. Even if we conservatively estimate its total revenue at $1 billion, that's still a 10x multiple. GTA San Andreas. With a $40 million budget, using the higher estimate, and sales of 27.5 million copies, it likely generated over $1 billion in revenue, giving it a 25x multiple. Now, let's consider GTA 6, with its rumored $2 billion budget. To match GTA 5's success in terms of revenue multiple, it would need to generate an almost unthinkable $58 billion. While that seems unlikely, the gaming market has grown significantly since GTA 5's release. To match even a 10x revenue multiple like GTA 4, GTA 6 would need to bring in $20 billion. That's a huge number, but considering GTA 5's long-term success and the growing global gaming market, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. What's clear from this comparison is that the budgets for GTA games have increased exponentially with each major release, from $40 million for San Andreas to $2 billion for GTA 6. We're seeing a 50 times increase in budget over about 20 years. And Rockstar Games need GTA 6 to succeed at any cost too. It's a high-stakes game Take-Two is playing with GTA 6. These guys haven't seen a profitable quarter in years. And it's not just because they've been pouring money into GTA 6 like there's no tomorrow. They've had a few stumbles with other games and some decisions that didn't quite pan out. It's like they've pushed all their chips to the center of the table, betting it all on GTA 6. Now when we're talking about making this investment pay off, we're looking at some serious numbers. We're talking about needing to sell at least 200 million copies of the game. That's not just to break even, but to actually turn this into a success that'll make the company thrive. At $70 a pop, assuming that's the price point, we're looking at about $14 billion in revenue. That's the kind of money that makes Wall Street sit up and take notice. But here's the thing. It's not just about the initial sales. GTA 5 showed us that these games can have a long tail, bringing in cash for years through online components and microtransactions. So while that 200 million copies figure seems daunting, it's not just about day one or even year one sales. It's about creating a platform that'll keep players engaged and spending for the long haul. Take-Two is essentially betting the farm on GTA 6. If it hits, it could set them up for years of profitability and cement their position at the top of the gaming industry. But if it misses, well, that's not a scenario they want to think about. We could be looking at serious financial trouble, potential layoffs, maybe even a situation where they become vulnerable to a takeover. The pressure on Rockstar to deliver isn't just about making a great game anymore. It's about creating a product that can sustain an entire company for years to come. They're not just competing with other games. They're competing with every form of entertainment out there for people's time and money. So yeah, the stakes are sky high. Take-Two is playing for keeps here. They're swinging for the fences, hoping to hit a grand slam that'll echo through the gaming industry for years to come. It's a gutsy move, but then again, playing it safe was never the GTA way, was it? And we are done. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments and subscribe to the channel if you really don't want to miss next videos. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.